Hi everyone, today in this video we're going to develop another mental model that I'm using for you. Since mental models are representations about all the reality work and as much more you grasping, higher is the probability of you getting what you want. That tends to be so performing at high level. Performing at high level requires you to be a good type of decision maker, a good type of problem solver. So I'm a defender that you to be a good problem solver, you should know a lot of mental models that so you can apply making a union of them to so create you a solution for the problem. So you girls who are much more well succeeded in your life, as better you are, a better problem solver. And so I hope this can be useful, can be methodology to solve problems that you can follow. And then so I'm gonna apply in a specific example that is so the mental health crisis that you're kind of facing and seeing today a lot of people's having, and then so I'm gonna be a one that's gonna try to develop solutions for that based on the mental models and what they say about the world. So what you have to understand first is always the problems, and then so what's the problem? Global mental health crisis. 1 in 4 people will face mental disorder in their life. Economic cost around like 16 trillion lost by 2013. Productivity, healthcare, because people face these mental disorders. And youth crisis. The suicide is the second leading cause of death for a range of years between the 15 and 29. So something that you have to get in count. And then so we have to apply the mental models to create the solution for this problem. First, a one that's really important, the hedonic treadmill, chasing happiness. What's the idea of this mental model? Is that humans adapt to positive, negative changes, returning to baseline happiness. And what so is a fix to existence of this hedonic treadmill, so to make people not so fall in low levels of happiness in their basal and not requiring so stimulators that are not obviously positive. So we have, for example, the Finland's lonely slabs. Redesigned cities for spontaneous social interactions like parks with shared grills, co-working forests. It has seen that cut loneliness rates by 30%. The data so makes that social connection boosts lifespan more than quitting smoking, for example. It's something that was seen in Harvard study. Second, the social contagion. Emotions spread like viruses. What's the idea here is that mental states transmit through networks, for example, anxiety in friend groups. What's the application here is peer-to-peer therapy. Zimbabwe's friendship bench trains grandmothers as counselors, and then so has treated 2,000 to 200k people in a 70% recovery rate. TikTok bans France blocked algorithm feeds for users under 16 to halt anxiety contagion. 3. Dual process theory, fast versus slow thinking. So the idea is there system 1 is emotional, system 2 is the logical brain. So we have two systems in our brain, is what the mental model defends. But then so by getting that this exists, so we have a more emotional side, other system is more logical. But then so what this implies for creations of solutions. So we have one, the artificial intelligence mood trackers. So a wall boot interrupts panic attacks with logic puzzles. It's a scene that reduces the ER visits by 40%. Gamified CBT, so super better turns therapy into quests. 1 million users report 75% lower depression scores by doing this. So see a hedonic treadmill that helps understand so the happiness and holds the baseline of happiness it changes based in experiences that we have, and then so some of these we can so reduce people having and reaching a till point of happiness that's so low that so making them prone to commit so acts that are obviously not positive, and then so we can develop so actions people never reach these points, so make it easier for them to have access, to not feel embarrassed by asking questions, and then so it's something that has to be more algorithmized, and so design the system that's designed that makes it's like a low effort of elements to always seeking for people is if they're hell or not. Why not also create a system that is always so acting in a certain way towards certain specific type of objective that we have, and also these systems, the way that we design cities, the way that so we design as well works, and obviously so it allows it can be other type of strategy to handle more systematically a certain type of action and interaction that I want to present. Then the Maslow's hierarchy, it's something important to get as well. Understand Maslow's hierarchy, the needs before healing. So the idea is that you can't fix mental health without basics. So you kind of have basics, we have kind of so a hierarchy of what so is the most important needs. So in the basics, you have food, we have so water, we have security. Then you will grow up and go for relationships. You need to have relationships, and then so you need the need for having prosperity to have so becoming more smarter to produce something that's relevant. So we have to go always for the basis. The basis also what has more impact as well. You so have to prioritize to satisfy, and then so it's something that you have to understand if the people get so these type of needs, the basic ones, getting satisfied. And then so what are the application of this? That we so can apply policies, for example, so to support these basic needs. We have in Portugal is the Portugal Housing First. So gave homeless addicts homes before rehab, makes the drug deaths fell 50%, and universal basic income trials in Ontario they saw anxiety drops 35% when people saved 1k month was something that it's really interesting to see how a universal basic income that satisfies already so the basic needs already make so the people feel so much feeling less anxiety, because anxiety is nothing more than fear, uncontrolled fear. And fear of what? What do we have fear? Is when something that we prioritize not so and we care about it so is in risk, so our life, or we not having money to buy the things. And then so seeing that if you have the basal getting satisfied, it seems to be as proven so by this data in Ontario that so has already made a lot of results. So obviously it has to get out what's the impact that have in the economic system, give that universal basic income for people. Anti-fragility, so growth through cows. What's the idea here? Is that systems strengthen under stress if designed right. But then, so what's the fix here by understanding it? Resilience gyms in Japan's stress dojos simulate job loss, breakups to train coping skills. And post-traumatic growth programs, the Veterans Rebuild Village and Ukraine, and the PTSD rates halved. Nudge theory can be important, the subtle persuasion. So idea, small cues drive big behavior changes. What's the application here? The Netherlands, grief traffic lights, public screens turn red near suicide hotspots, and then so interventions have increased so around 300%. And Google's "Are you okay?" alerts pop-ups during late night searches for self-harm that connected 10 millions to hotlines. 7. Toxic positivity, the danger of forced smiles. What's the idea here is that denying negative emotions worsens mental health. So how to fix the Germany's emotional honesty curriculum? Kids learn to articulate anger and sadness, and school bullying seems to decrease 60% by that. And corporate vulnerability days, Salesforce no meeting Fridays has made the burnout reports decrease 35%. So obviously something that are important to have a look. What seems so integrated solutions like reward social media, so Chrome extensions mute toxic positivity posts like good vibes only, flagged as harmful, urban redesign, so Seoul's suicide prevention bridges like helpline phones, warm lightning, and poetry replace cold guardrails, and artificial intelligence awareness, why not? Wearables like Fitbit Mind predict panic attacks via heart rate, making so how to play calming play styles to start so playing. And so obviously these are some ideas, but see so how you understand how we work by so getting analyzing mental models that exist that were taken by the studies that other people have done, you already so can take so much of it and then so create actions that benefits you it's something interesting to see. So I expect these videos make you gain insights. I expect it was enough to may like it to so subscribe, and I hope to see so in next videos that can discuss other type of matters. So thank you and see you in the next one.